What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the video. Thank you so much for clicking on the channel. As you can see, I'm in normal clothes. Now, what is the reason for that? Literally nothing. I just figured, it's been a month since I've worn not gym clothes, so now was a good a time as any. So today, the video that I want to make is actually talking about something that I would say anyone that has a following or a YouTube channel or anything like that online has to deal with, and that is going to be criticism. And it's going to be a very specific point of criticism that I get almost daily, and that I will say I totally understand why this criticism is brought up to me so often. Now, what is the criticism? The criticism is that I talk too much about women and I police women's bodies. Now, if you take this from an outsider's perspective and someone that doesn't watch the channel very much and just kind of sees the thumbnails and sees the videos that I'm making, I can understand why you would feel this way. Because, if you just look at the videos, most of the time, if not all the time, I am, having commentary against what a woman is saying, right? And I personally believe there is a reason for that. I don't believe that I am some, sexist or someone that is trying to police women's bodies, or I'm someone that is trying to, I'm some woman hater. I do think that there are specific reasons for why that has happened, and that's what I want to talk about in today's video. Now, the reason that this video even got kind of put in my head was because I was actually having a conversation with someone in my DMs. I'm not going to share the DMs because I haven't asked them, and I want to respect their privacy, but the gist of the conversation was this was a woman, and she said she had shown my videos to a friend of hers that she was trying to help lose weight, and her friend said something along the lines of, it's great that he's making these points, but I just wish he would stop monetizing him policing women's bodies. Now, so normally when you first hear something like that, right, you kind of want to fight back, like, that's ridiculous, I would never do that. But, take a couple seconds, I would breathe, and I read it, and again, like I said, I totally understand how someone that doesn't follow my content could see what the videos that I'm making and make that assumption. So now I kind of want to share a couple of the reasons that I believe I end up talking about women so much. Now, the first and I think the most obvious thing is that there are a lot more women in the space that I am in. Right? And what is that space? So the space that I believe that I kind of inhabit on the big internet is going to be, weight loss, body positivity, health at every size. Like, those are all very similar. I would say that they're under the umbrella of like weight loss content or body positivity content. Like, most people that talk about one of those things usually end up talking about most of those things. And now I can't say for sure the numbers, but that sect of the internet, that the area of the internet that I inhabit is overwhelmingly filled with women. And I think the reason for that is because, guys, we don't like to talk about weight. We don't like to talk about being unhappy with your body. It's kind of like, if you're unhappy with your body, just change it. You don't need to tell anyone about it. You don't need to have anyone help you. At least that was what I was used to growing up. And now, what I'm not saying here is that there aren't a lot of men that are trying to lose weight. That's obviously ridiculous. There are tons of men that are trying to lose weight. But when it comes to maybe making an Instagram that is specifically about your weight loss, or, trying to build a following like me, right, about your weight loss and about helping other people lose weight, for some reason, men are just not as drawn to that as a woman is. And again, when I'm saying weight loss, again, I'm talking about the whole umbrella of that, right? Weight loss, body positivity, health at every size, all of those things that you guys see me make videos on are in my head are kind of under that umbrella. So with that kind of knowledge in place, it kind of makes sense why obviously there are more women that are making more extreme claims that I am kind of disputing in these videos, because just if you look at the sheer numbers, right, there is just a higher percentage of women that are making these claims. And I want to make it very clear, I'm not trying to make this like a gender argument, or I'm trying to be like there needs to be more men, anything like that. Again, I'm just explaining why I think it ends up being that I am skewing more towards talking about women. And then the next reason I believe that I'm making more videos about women is because, and this is I think this is wrong, but I think that this is true, is that women have been policed more on their bodies. There is a lot more pressure on ladies for their bodies and for how they look and for just, there's tons of, you guys know how it is, right? And so I think that that's another reason, is it's that pendulum thing, right? You're told so many times you have to be this is the standard, this is the standard, this is what you need to be, this is what you need to be. And then so these women are completely swinging the other way, and they are saying a bunch of stuff that is the complete opposite of that. And again, those are usually the things that I am disagreeing with. And then to kind of dispute the fact that people think that I am policing women's bodies, that is not at all what these videos are about. And I would say most people that are watching that would agree with that, hopefully. It's more the ideas that are being brought up. So it's usually not even like I'm talking about a woman in particular or like attacking that person, right? It's about the ideas that they are putting out there. And I think this is very obvious when you look at like the health at every size movement. That is overwhelmingly more women in that movement, right? Obviously, I'm sure there are men that are there, but when it comes to the posts that I'm sent and the things that people send me in my DMs that are like, hey, what do you think about this? It's almost always, and I would actually say it's always been a woman that they are talking about. Now, to go actually a little bit further into depth about this, I was looking at my analytics on my own YouTube channel, so this channel right here, and this is very strange for a man at least. I have 65% of my audience are women. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy that you guys are here. I'm happy that people are here to hear me talk about whatever, right? I don't care if it's man or woman. I really don't care at all. But it's just an interesting fact. And I think that goes to show you that even though I'm a man that is talking about weight loss and all of these topics, more women are tuning into those videos. And I think that if that doesn't explain, like if that doesn't show that there are just more women in this space, I don't really know what else can. So again, I have more women watching my videos, and then on top of that, it's the same thing on my Instagram, right? My analytics on my Instagram are about 60% women versus 40% men. So whenever I am sent a DM, most of the time, if they're talking about the health at every size and stuff like that, it is a woman that is sending me that DM. And usually, for the most part, and this is pretty standard for all different genders and stuff, people that are one gender usually kind of follow the same gender, right? That's something that I've noticed, and I'm sure it's something that you've noticed as well. If you're a woman, you typically follow more women. If you're a man, you typically follow more men. And again, so that's why it's kind of strange that I have such a large following of women. But these women are the ones that are following these other ladies, and they are seeing these posts, and they're the ones that are sending me the videos or the posts for me to kind of react to. Now, I gotta be completely honest, this video has been something that has been kind of kicking around in my head for a couple days, and I've been pretty anxious to talk about it because whenever, a white guy is sitting here talking about gender in any capacity, it can be really twisted, and I feel like my words can really be used against me in a very easy way, right? Because this topic is so many people are very passionate about it, which I understand, and that's good that they are. Again, I am not at all trying to say anything other than just share why it is I think that I end up talking more about women in these videos. So as you guys can probably tell by now, it's not one big reason why I think that I end up talking about more women. It just seems to be all these little tiny reasons that has kind of that all put together end up being the way that it is. And again, I want to make it very clear, these videos that I'm making, I'm not trying to deplatform these women or make them feel like they're not allowed to speak their mind and say what they say. I think more than anything, I'm just trying to encourage speaking on these things and having a dialogue and sharing different opinions on these, because again, I think a lot of times these women are coming from their point of view from being a woman, which is fine. But again, I think that it's important to hear the other side. Being a guy in this space is, I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's just different than being a woman and dealing with body positivity, dealing with body issues. It's just something that you don't see many men talk about. And I think more than anything, that is why I'm so passionate about sharing videos about loose skin, sharing videos about, just being kind of iffy about your body and not knowing how you feel about it and talking about weight loss, because these are things that men aren't talking about. And I think it's important for guys to see another guy talk about it. But I mean, obviously women are also interested in seeing a guy talk about this topic. Again, am I saying because I'm a guy, it's any more valid and that it's a better point? No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that it is a different point of view. But before we go, I would love for you guys to check out my podcast. We're actually currently rebranding the whole thing. It's called Work for Change. I do it with my brother. But as I said, we're doing a whole new rebranding. So we're taking a couple weeks off. We're going to be back in a couple weeks. But there are like over 80 podcasts that you guys can listen to if you're interested in the topics that I talk about in these videos. I really do think that you would be interested in the podcast. And again, the rebranding is going to be awesome. It's basically going to be like a new relaunch of the podcast, and I'm really, really excited about it. So if you do enjoy podcasts, you enjoy that type of content, I will leave the YouTube link and also the iTunes link down in the description for you guys to check that out. I would really, really appreciate it if you're at all interested in something like that. But with that being said, I would love to hear your guys' opinion on this video, on the topic that I brought up, because again, as you guys can tell, I don't have a definitive answer, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I do. I have my own theories, but I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look up my fam.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.